Hey friends, we are looking at the Bionic Glowing Mech Jellyfish, and in a moment I'll turn on the lights and we'll turn on the motors. It's actually, it moves, it does all sorts of things. And then the box looks like this. It's made by a company called Touba Bamu, and it has 1,146 pieces. It's set number T1127. All right, and what you're looking at is a jellyfish that is inspired by mechanical builds. So you can think of it as maybe a man-made experimental jellyfish. It says exploration. It's got the number 2 here. Everything you see here that's a decoration is a print, and it's got this little placard here that we'll zoom in, take a closer look as well. But it's on a stand. The stand is mostly clear. You can see it there. And it's got all these tentacles coming off of it, and it has lights on the inside, and then it all comes down into this base with just a little bit of coral terrain on the bottom there, and it's made to be seen from one side. This is the side that is not as pretty, and it has this one cable that comes off of it. We'll take a look at the motor and how that works too. It's an unusual setup for the motor that I've never seen before. Okay, all right, so now let's turn off the lights. Let's plug this guy in. It has no on-off switch. All right, so got my battery pack. I'm just gonna plug it in and we'll see it go. All right, so hard to tell because the lights are on in the room, but there are 3 LED plates that came on the underside there. So they're glowing. They're glowing through this translucent blue. And then you can see with the tentacles, they are definitely moving. Let's zoom in a little bit, see that a little bit closer. So it's got that really interesting like undulation going on. And because of the engineering on it, there's a little bit of wiggle on each of those. And that wiggle, you either love it or hate it. I think if you got this and you knew it was going to be a jellyfish, then maybe you want that wiggle. But to be honest, it gives me the heebie-jeebies, and maybe that's the intent. Jellyfish are supposed to be a little bit heebie-jeebie-ish, but that's what's going on there. It's super, super interesting, and there's so many gears in there that are accomplishing this. So we're zooming in there. I mean, I lost count on the number of gears that are in there to accomplish this. And the gears you see are the gray ones there. And then there's a lot of like fake gearing that are just decorations on it just to make it look mechanical. All right, so a lot of stuff going on here. And then with the lights, they're just 1x4 plates. You can kind of see one of them right there. It's a 1x4 plate that's just kind of stuck to the bottom. The light points upwards so that you can get light coming out through this side of it. So you see how it looks. I like the blue. The blue is almost a frosted transparent color. So that is unique. I do like that they did that. All right, and then let's look at the motor real quick. So maybe it's best to shut this off temporarily so we can get a better look at the motor and I don't have to yell over the sound of the motor. All right, so there's the motor. It is your typical Lego sized medium motor, I think it's called. So this is the barrel of the motor, and then the top end of the motor is over here. And then this gear right here is just meant to hold it in place. And then coming off of this motor is this wire, and this wire has the USB-C cable on it. So Lego doesn't do it that way. Lego has these motors, and they have like the power functions little 2x2 plate that is the connector. But this one has a USB cable on it, which I think is clever. I wish I had more like that because in the Lego world, I have a bunch of those kinds of motors, and those motors always need a bunch of fancy conversions. But The one thing I don't like is you can't control the speed. So I end up using like a train regulator, stuff like that, to control the speed. The other thing that's happening with this motor is it has another wire, this white and gray wire coming off of it. And that's going right into the motor, and it's providing power to those LED lights that you see in the upper blue shell. So that's what's happening there. It's actually USB in, and then it powers this motor and it sends power to the lights. So pretty cool. It's economical. Somebody thought about it and they made this kit just for this build. You can see a better look here now at the stand. So they're using a lot of clear Technic parts. I think that was a smart move. A lot of times you see stands made out of black Technic, but I think it's more successful here as clear. Here's a better look at the kind of coral terrain. So I like the use of this light gray and then different colors here to build up the terrain. It's pretty well done. Look at this flame piece in green and transparent green. It feels a little bit like kelp. And then it has this placard and it says O2 exploration. So I'm not sure the significance of it being a number 2. Maybe there's more in the series that I'm not aware of. But it's nice. It's gold, and it's, shows it off. I think it would have been more meaningful if it maybe had the name of the set or something like that, but not bad. All right, so let's back out. Let's show this thing working one more time. All right, plug it in. Boom, there it goes. Final thoughts? Is it worth it? Yeah, totally. I mean, it's some really cool engineering in here because it uses the Lego style medium motor. I think it'll go and go and go. You can probably leave it running for hours and it'll probably be fine. Some stuff to show off. Here's the instruction manual. It says production guide on there, and they're paced okay. It's not too bad actually on the pacing for it, so I like that. And then as far as spare parts, boy, did you get some spare parts. We got a bunch. So I almost thought maybe I missed like 5 steps. I mean, there are so many spare parts. I can't tell you why there's so many, but maybe they just wanted to make sure you didn't have any problems. And then here is a minifigure for scale. Oop, there you go. So it's quite large. This is maybe 12 inches, I'd say. So not bad. And if you can get this on a deal, I think you'd really enjoy it. Okay, thanks so much. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe. Keep finding interesting sets, and you'll be the first to see them. All right, thanks so much.